my limits from a rational consideration of the consequences of my actions. That's how I determine what's moral. I get it from a foundation that says my actions have an effect on those people around me, and theirs have an effect on me. And if we're going to live cooperatively and share space, we have to recognize that impact. And my freedom to swing my arm ends at their nose, and that I have no right to impose my will over somebody else's will in that type of scenario. That's where I get them from. This is the problem with Christian religion. It establishes unrealistic and irrational and immoral criteria by which to live. And then it creates a loophole so that you don't ever have to be responsible. Christianity is not a moral system. It is an immoral system because it specifically says that there aren't necessarily consequences that you're going to have to pay because of a loophole. And what is the loophole? It has nothing to do with how good you are or how morally you act or anything else. It has to do with whether or not you're willing to be a sycophant to an idea. Christian God is just is directly contradicted by the idea that the Christian God is merciful. Perfect justice and perfect and any mercy are necessarily directly in contradiction because mercy is a suspension of justice. So do not pretend that your religion is moral and just.
Right on. That was Die Next with Cognitive Dissonance. Now, this really reminded me of old school Metallica. Like I'm talking about Justice for All, and talking about like kind of the '80s kind of metal we were talking about earlier, like Sepultura, Pantera. I'm adding the phrase now here, and Slayer, and that was like a really just cool rocked out tune. I mean, that had everything in it. It had like the collaborations and. From like the consonant souls and the bridge of the song, which just really kind of got me into my old school kind of metal roots right there.
I definitely dig the sax. You know, I thought the sax was an interesting addition to the song.
Yeah,
you know, it actually fit pretty well.
Yeah, I never heard sax before.
Never heard sax before in that type of music.
No, neither have I.
It was different. It was different.
Yeah, great guitarist.
Different is always cool.
Yeah,
Catherine Nolan?
Guitarist, I thought.
Yeah, I really like the experimental nature of it, and yeah, the saxophone absolutely took us by surprise the first time we listened to it. But man, those guys are tight. They were really good musicians.
Very, very high quality musicians. Good, tasteful guitar player. I liked him quite a bit.
Absolutely.
So back into questions for you guys for the Garage Bats. Guys, have you been working on new music? Have you had like are you guys planning an EP or an album release anytime soon, or what's going on with that?
We actually do, right, Manny? We got something in the works.
We have about 4 songs that we're working on right now.
Okay.
We're just trying to get into the studio to finish them, and then we'll pick a day to record them. But yeah, we got about 4, and maybe we'll do 2 more for an EP.
Nice.
What's an EP? Like 5 songs at least?
Yeah, like 5. Well, it could be. It's more or less the length of time as opposed to the songs, because some EPs can be like 10 songs, be like maybe half hour.
Right.
So it just varies. It all depends on what you guys have prepared and what you guys' likes are. So, an EP, it just essentially a short version album. So instead of like 45 minutes to an hour, it's half hour instead, or 20 minutes. So so there's no necessarily limitation on songs. It's just a question more or less of the length.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and-
Go ahead, Ron.
You mentioned something that I'm still thinking about it, and that's good that your interviewing skills are pretty darn good. One of the things that influences the music that we do too is that if the world wasn't so fucked up, we wouldn't have any material.
No, very, very, very good point, Ralph. You're absolutely right.
And I think that's our biggest influence. It's not one band, but the world.
Yeah, no.
Our lyrics are pretty grim. Sometimes the music is pleasant, but if you listen to the lyrics,
There's always something fucked up.
something grim is going to come out.
Just ask Ralph's wife what she thinks of it.
Yeah.
My wife is scared shitless. Very afraid.
All right, guys.
She sleeps with one eye open.
Oh my God, really? All right, guys. So next up, we're gonna get to a song by a band called the Pacers. This one's called Highs and Lows. Dig this.
As his mind slowly crumbled within him, and suddenly the dark sky split. The universe fell down from it. It all came crashing down on him. He's got cracked lips and dirty fingers, a rotten stench that lingers.
The Pacers, highs and lows.
Nice tune.
Yeah, and I tell you, this totally reminded me of the Ventures.
Adventures.
Very
You know what,
catchy
Jack?
tune.
Did they sing Secret Agent Man? Because they reminded me.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
Instead.
It's got that sound. It's got that UK sound or that Secret
60s.
Agent Man thing.
Yeah, the 60s.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, they were totally reminding me of the Ventures, and like a really cool. Like I really appreciate that they kind of twangy, different kind of guitar style. So very cool tune. So who's ever next? The floor is all yours.
Go ahead, Nolan.
I agree with you totally, Bones. The vocalist kind of reminded me of Ray Davies a little bit, which is an interesting combination, having Ray sing with the Ventures.
Yep.
It's a good tune. I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
Manny, Rosa.
Many.
I don't think it's all that. You don't get to hear much of that anymore. And
I don't know. I was just thinking of Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah, no kidding.
Finding a wave,
that clean guitar sound, you can't beat it.
It's just that classical 60s guitar sound that's just very catchy tune.
Yes.
Very melodic.
I'd like to hear that song in stereo because it got my attention a little bit.
Nice.
And, it's hard to appreciate, because I got you guys on my phone and
Right.
everything. So, I can hear something that was going on in that tune, and I'd like to hear it in a, in a better, in a better situation.
Well, fair enough.
But yeah, it sounds to me like the alternative to you too.
Okay, no, I can see that.
Oops, we're almost out of time.
So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up, guys. But Manny, Rosa, Ralph, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It has been so much fun, and we'll have to do it again sometime very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah, it
Bones.
was great, man. Hope to do this again.
Oh, absolutely. So guys, thank you so much. Have a great night, and keep up the great music. Really, really.
Great, thank you.
guys.
Good night.
All right, good night, guys.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
Good night.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good night.
Good night. Bye, guys.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, guys, that was Garage Bats. That was Manny, Rosa, and Ralph in the Garage Bats. What a great time that was. We'll be back in a few minutes for part 2, about fun 10 minutes. So stick around for News for Saturday part 2, and be right back. Until then, Bones out.